What's going on? I want to share how I had a spiritual awakening. I didn't know that that's what it was, but I had one when I was in the Philippines, and it was terrifying, but it was and still is the most beautiful thing and precious and sacred and ancient thing that has ever happened to me. It's completely changed me, and I'm just going to share that with you. Because it took years and years of suffering to get to that point. So, my entire life, I've suffered with anxiety, deep subconscious shame, depression, DPDR, bothersome tinnitus. My dad died. I've had multiple identity collapses, meaning like dreams that I chased didn't happen. And, I had a lot of turmoil growing up in my house, So I come from a broken family, essentially. I say all that because I used to have like panic attacks, or what maybe people would call like breakdowns, until one day I had a breakdown that was like, well, now I know it's a breakthrough, but it was a breakdown that was like so bad. I thought I went crazy. So I thought I'd lost my mind. That's what I thought had happened. So I had this breakdown, and I didn't know what had happened, because you go to the doctor and you tell them, and they're like, they put you on SSRIs, right? And you take them, and they just numb you out. So eventually I stopped taking them, and it felt like I was a hollowed out version of myself after this breakdown. Like I couldn't feel anymore. I felt like I was a ghost trapped in between worlds, just existing. And I lived like that. Until one day, I realized, you know what? I'm just going to take a backpack and go travel. Because if I'm truly dead, if I feel dead, then I might as well be dead on a beach. So that was my thought. I'm like, I'm going to go sit on a beach and just like drink the rest of my life away. Because I lost my mind, I had a mental breakdown, and I'm basically screwed. That was my thought process. So that's what I did. I booked a ticket, and I started traveling. And I stumbled around third world countries with a backpack, sleeping on random beaches, meeting locals, getting drunk on the beach, waking up at 5 a.m., sipping coffee as I see the sunrise. It's really just living life that I always wanted to live, I guess. And I still felt hollow, but I don't know, something deep inside me was like, maybe life's not too bad, I guess. So anyway, one day I sat on the beach. Well, it was like the ocean, but there was like a little like rocky type beach thing. And anyway, it wasn't like a beach like Boracay. It was more like a beach, like it was kind of like a rocky type thing. Anyway, I sat there and I felt God tell me, do you want to be set free from whatever's left holding you back? I said, yeah. But I didn't know what I was saying. And in that moment, it felt like I felt like my awareness, it was like there was chains just falling from me. Is what it felt like. Chains. And after the chains fell, like I don't know if I could see physical chains, but it was like I could perceive them, if that makes sense. Perceive them like as a thought, I guess. Like how you would perceive a thought. Like not physically seeing it, but you're perceiving it with your awareness. So I was perceiving these chains falling from me. And in that moment, my awareness just went out to all eternity. And I was aware for the first time. I was like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. I just forgot. And I was like terrified, but I was so perplexed and enamored by the feeling. And the days after that came were some of the most beautiful days I ever experienced. Like colors were like, I'd never seen colors like this before. I'd never seen reality like this before. I would just walk around and look at the trees for hours and listen to music. Listening to music was pure ecstasy. It felt like the music was inside me. It felt like I was a subwoofer, and I could feel the music inside of my body. And I would just vibe to like EDM, and it felt like all of reality was synced to the music I was listening to. That's what it felt like. That was about the experience. I would walk around barefoot and just vibe and just look at trees and just listen to the music. Food tasted 100 times better than I'd ever had before. It felt like the food itself felt like, you know how when you know what you don't like? Well, in this state, there was nothing that, it was like everything tasted good. Like everything, like even things you don't like still taste good. Like, so I was like, is there anything I don't like? So I realized that everyone is in heaven, but they're asleep, dreaming of going to the place that they're already at. So they're sleeping inside heaven. Everyone is sleeping inside heaven. And what keeps you from seeing Eden is your own mind. Because people can't stay present. They can't sit in the present moment long enough. They're terrified of silence. Everyone says, I'm not really good at meditation. Everyone says that. Everyone thinks that. Basically what they're saying is that the silence terrifies them, because in silence is God. And the ego mind hates not being in control. And when you're with God, you're not in control. God's in control. And the ego is terrified of that. So the ego scrolls on TikTok. The ego does anything it can to not have to sit in infinity, because that's where God is at. And the ego cannot survive in the presence of God. But when the ego dies, you realize, you wake up inside heaven and you realize, I'm in heaven. I've always been inside heaven. I was never separate from God. I only thought that I was. And it's very offensive to tell the world that your suffering is optional. You're already in heaven. You are the very thing that you're chasing, right? Jesus says the kingdom is within. Everyone's looking at the stars for the kingdom. They're looking into money for the kingdom. They're looking and chasing all of these things to find the kingdom. But Jesus says the kingdom is within you. You already possess the kingdom, right? If you're made in God's image, if you're a child of God, then the infinite awareness that is God is a part of you. And that's what I was experiencing. I was realizing, oh my God, I'm a part of God. I'm a child of God. I'm made of his essence. What does that mean? Does it mean flesh and blood? No, it means awareness. It means the infinite, formless being, consciousness. That is who you really are. So I was existing in this state of, I just felt like I was everything. I was the tree, which I am, the road. And I started experiencing embodied non-duality after that point. So when I would take a shower, I feel like the water went through me. I felt like I became the water. If you've never experienced embodied non-duality, it's the most pleasurable, enjoying, amazing thing you could ever experience. Food tastes way 1,000 times better. There's no mental buffer in your head anymore. Meaning you're not thinking, like when you're talking to someone, you're not thinking, what do I say next? Everything just flows out of you. You're not thinking about what to say next. It's pulling from a well of knowledge. It's just coming from God, essentially. You're connected to, right? The Bible says, when you're connected to me, you can do great things, but apart from me, you can do nothing. When you are connected with God, and you're in embodied non-duality, which is where you're supposed to be all the time. That's how God originally designed you. Everything just flows. Even things that are bad just flow. Like, I remember I was riding my motorbike in the Philippines, and I'm just like aware of everything. Like the road, the sun, it was just like, so it was tripping me out. I'm like, what is happening? Like, and then the tire, the motorbike gets a flat tire. But then it just seems like everything flows, because then after I get a flat tire, there's just a motorbike place. And I'm like, oh, we're just going to pull over here. and get it fixed. And I just got it fixed. It was like, it felt like even imperfections are made perfect in heaven. Like, you look at the dead leaves on the ground, and when you're in heaven, which if you can perceive it, the dead leaves are beautiful. Even the dead leaves are glowing with energy fields. Everything is alive. Like, everything holds the divine presence of God. It's quite literally like you're in like a Electric Land type EDM festival, where like you put music on and everything is just vibing. The waves are vibing to the music you're listening to. It's like, I can't explain it other than that. You just have to experience it. It's everything is alive. God is in everything. He's everywhere. He's in every blade of grass, right? God says that he has the hairs on your head numbered. What does that mean? Dude, he's everywhere. God is the awareness behind you. People are searching for heaven. They're already in it, right? The kingdom is at hand. Jesus says it's at hand, meaning it's right now. It's not someday. And God is the awareness that holds everything. Everything exists inside of God. God is even behind the awareness that you're looking out of. That is God. That is God. You are a child of God. He created you in his image. You cannot be apart from him. Nothing is apart from God. When you realize that, and you wake up, you realize, man, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's just only infinite peace. Just every day is just happiness, like you're a kid again. You literally feel like a kid on Christmas morning again, every day. It just keeps getting better. You know, was it terrifying? 100%. I'm going to start writing books about this, because it's like, I can't do it justice with just one video. But anyway, if you're going through a difficult time, just know you're in heaven and you just forgot, and you're a part of God, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And yeah, it's just, life is beautiful. And I wanted to share that with you. Anyway, if you like this video, share it with someone, or, comment below. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Peace.